Okay, well, good morning, everyone. I'm really grateful to have everyone on this call today, this leaders call. You can see that the theme and subject changes from week to week, and I think that's because so much of what we're talking about here on these calls it's a constant evolving journey for all of us as we're seeking to understand how to really grow our businesses and use some of these tools that are available to us online. Now, last week, when we were together, I spoke about how we can build our business using some online tools, such as live streaming with Facebook Live. One second. We had a new person join us, make a little bit of noise there. What I want to do today is take that just a little bit further forward. We talked about, as we do a quick review, a quick summary of last week, we talked about some of the simple things that we can do to get our message out through social media using live streaming. We demonstrated how to do that. We looked at some examples of how to host live events using social media. And I'm really thrilled to say that throughout the course of this past week, since we've had that presentation, I've seen loads and loads of people getting out there, giving it a go, and experimenting, practicing, and having some great fun in the process. And that is really what it's all about. So in light of what I've seen online, as we've been able to share each other's experience and watch and learn from each other, I want to take it another step further forward and talk about 4 critical things that we can do in order to build our online brand. And this is really important that we grasp these steps in order to get improvement in the results that we seek with our business. So first of all, I want to ask some questions, because a couple of questions will come up. If they haven't come up in your mind already, perhaps you may get confronted with them with other people in your group, and you might not know how to answer them. If we're all doing this, if we're all jumping online and we're all promoting Niken's business opportunity, the Niken products and so on, does that mean that we're all competing with each other? Are we going to flood the market? Are we going to annoy people? Are we going to wind people up and frustrate them? Will the fruit of this create the opposite effect that we're seeking? And rather than creating excitement and enthusiasm, instead, would we create something that is quite contrary to that and give us the reverse result? Some may think that. Some may fear that if everyone's doing it, where is my opportunity? First of all, I think we've all heard the story of the 2 salesmen that went out into a little village out in the desert a number of years back. And they came back with very different perspectives. The first salesman came back and said, "Oh, there is no chance of being able to sell shoes here. No one wears them." And then the other salesman came back and said, "Fantastic! This is a gold mine. No one wears shoes." And so, really, for a start, to begin with, it's important that we evaluate our own perspective. I have found in building business, first of all, that there are always going to be reasons why we can't do something, but there's also always going to be reasons why we can. And we need to choose which reason we listen to if we want to be successful. So that's the first kind of psychology 101 answer. But from a business context, I want to discuss some other solutions as well. First of all great businesses out there in the world today are applying these techniques. There aren't any global brands or even smaller brands that are serious about building their business, that aren't jumping online and building an online presence. It's becoming the foundation and centerpiece for communication with the world, with our customers, with our business partners, with our clients, with everyone, that we have this accessibility and ability to reach out and to communicate, to share with people that really makes a difference. So I think that's really important that we recognize that they're doing it. But there's a difference here, that all of these big companies and all of the small companies too that are out there building their businesses online and using these skills, they are not all saying the same thing. And here's the challenge that some people might think that we face with Niken here. Haven't we been taught in the past that we should all say the same thing? Haven't we been taught to use the same presentation, perhaps, or to deliver the same message in order to develop consistency and duplication? How does this work if we are all needing to say something slightly different? Well, here's the answer. First of all, it comes to the next point. What is the biggest thing that you are selling? Whilst it's true that we've always said we need to have duplication in our message, simplicity that people can copy and use and share and repeat, at the same time, we have also said that people join you more than they join the company. And that is really important to understand at the heart of your brand as a business. And it was this way before the introduction to the internet, and it will be this way forevermore. At the heart of your business success lies your own personal brand. People are joining you more than they join the business, or they're joining your team more than they're joining the business. And so the great thing is with Niken here, we have always taught people to be themselves, to be authentic, to be the best version of themselves, and to make a difference in doing that. The great thing about building your online brand is really that it comes down to this critical thing, that the starting part of that process, not the end, but the start, and one of the core ingredients of this is you. We need to make sure that people feel a connection with you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how we can do that in just a minute. So we want to make sure that as we build our brand, we're not just talking about Niken and the products and the business, but that we're also talking about ourselves and helping people warm to us. That's the critical thing. They need to warm to us in order to warm to our product or our business. The product and the business opportunity that we offer people comes secondarily as a result of the trust and confidence that people have in you, which is why, for example, you will have noticed in building your businesses that the warm market is always the fastest to respond than the cold market. Why? Relationship is there. Familiarity is there, trust is there, loyalty is there. So as we connect with people online with the cold market, we don't just make a connection and seek to convert, we can make a connection and seek to build a relationship. And that relationship is centered on building our brand, telling our story. Does this work? Absolutely it does, it really does. But the critical thing is results take time to measure. And it's really important as we go through this process to recognize it as a journey. We don't make one video or send out one post and expect to get an immediate result in customer acquisition, a new business builder, or a new track record for success. It is something that we build over time, and I'm going to share with you now what are some of the consistent things that we need to do to make sure that that happens. Here are 4 critical things that we need to do in order to build our online brand. And I've put down here deliberately, of course, critical skills to practice and perfect. We don't become perfect in a moment, but we do get better over time. First of all, the first skill here to practice is people connect with authenticity. I think it's really important for each of us, if we're telling our story, if we're helping people to connect with us, that we learn to be authentic in the message that we share. I gave an example of this on a call that I was on Monday, yesterday morning, where on Sunday it was Father's Day. This is just an example of striving for authenticity. Sunday was Father's Day, and everyone on Facebook was posting wonderful accolades to their fathers. And all these great images of happy families were being shared. It was wonderful. It's great to see so many happy families. I didn't come from that background. In fact, some of the greatest sources of personal pain in my life have been the result of the bad example of my father. And I had a conversation with my brother that kind of prompted this, where he was struggling to know how to react and how to think on this particular day and what to do about it when he saw all of these messages on Facebook. So I kind of took the bull by the horns there and just shared a personal note about my circumstances and how I still had reasons to be grateful and some of the things that it had taught me as a result. I didn't share it. Interestingly, I didn't share a video, I didn't share a picture, which we all know typically gets more comments, more reaction than just words in Facebook. I just typed a little message, but that attracted more attention and got more response than pretty much all of my posts over the last few weeks. Why is that? Why did that get such a response, especially when it was just words? Well, it was because it was authentic. People related to real things. And there are a lot of people that were in my circumstance growing up, and they could relate and empathize or appreciate the message. And people just love the authenticity. Now, I'm not suggesting that as we share our personal brand or share our story, that we start sharing family secrets and kind of things that should be treated sacredly or kind of confidentially. We don't want to do that. But what we do want to do is take some time out of our schedule to identify, what am I all about? I'll give you a couple of examples of some of the things that we've discovered in my personal group. I've got a young couple. I mentioned this couple last week, Peyton and Nathan Billington. They've been married for just a year. They're expecting their first child. They are overwhelmingly happily in love. It's just a wonderful experience to be around them. Of course, you've got another example here. I was going to say Haley Simpson, but she's not Simpson anymore. But she's recently gotten married as well, and her husband are doing a great series of videos. Again, great examples of being happily married and in love, and just having fun. And the great thing is, what comes through in their messages is just, we're young, we're happy, we're in love, we're having a great experience, and you just want to watch, you want to participate, you want to be involved. Another couple that I work very closely with, of course, New Silvers in the UK, Marie and Mike Barber. They have a son who has been diagnosed with autism, and they're sharing their experience for what it's like to have a son with autism and how the products have helped. And what is interesting is, as they put that perspective, as they were willing to be a little bit vulnerable in sharing their story, and as they were able to just turn out and say, look, this has been our challenge, and here's how some of the Nikken products have helped. That's been wonderful in generating interest, conversation, and critically being able to help people, because that's been shared a number of times. A number of their videos have been shared. So critically, please understand, we want to be authentic. What is it about me? This is the question we need to ask. What makes me unique? Because whilst there are brands everywhere, big brands that we might feel we can compete with, what we need to appreciate is there's no one out there in the world like us, like you, like me. We're all unique, and we can all share our story. And with that story, we can attract an audience and make a difference. We attract the audience so we can make a difference. My second point here is stories are everything. I was in a business prior to joining Nikken. I'm going to pause just a second. I just got an unstable sign here. I was in a business prior to Nikken, $1 billion organization. And when they had their business opportunity presentation, or their what we would call our in-home presentation or what have you, they broke it down to 4 stories. They started out with your story, then the company story, the product story, and the business story. I'll repeat that again. Your personal story, the company story, the product story, the business story. But the way they shared their message was they broke it down to stories. I've emphasized here show versus tell, and I'll give you some examples of that, because the benefit of online is we don't have to use as many words when we can have pictures or videos do a lot of the talking for us. I think that's really important. Additionally, in my studies of English and creative writing, one thing that was really emphasized to me in my education of that subject was that our brain, our mind thinks metaphorically. And as a consequence, we always resonate with stories. Metaphors are powerful. We use them every day in our language, not just in creative experiences, but in everyday conversation we use metaphor. Why? Because that's how our brain is geared to think. So let's take a little bit of time to craft our story, make it meaningful, make it compelling. This is the third point. Content is king. There are lots of people that will get great databases online, that they'll have big audiences, but they don't convert, they don't get success, they won't get results, because one, the technology can give you an audience, but your message, your content will keep and convert your audience. I'll say that again. Technology can gather your audience, but your content and your story will engage and retain your audience. That is what we want to have happen. So we need to make sure that our content is relevant, that it's compelling, that it's well crafted, and that we tell our story in a way that really resonates with people. And how do we do that? Again, critically, I've learned authenticity is what helps people to connect with our message. Be willing to be a little bit vulnerable. That's okay. Be willing to share some of your struggles and failures. That's okay. The critical thing is this last step. Keep on practicing. Don't give up. I want to share some wonderful examples in just a second of people that are just learning as they go and getting some wonderful results. I would encourage everyone this week to have a goal, to give it a try. I've seen some great examples, and I'll show you one today, where some of this online branding, online streaming, online messaging, whatever you want to call it, can take just 60 seconds. We don't need to do complicated events. In fact, sometimes doing these little video posts, if we do it consistently, can really help us to attract an audience and get people watching and following. So I would say, please don't give up. It takes time to build a brand, and it very much takes time to build a loyal audience. This isn't something that we do in a moment. It's something that we build up over time, but the results do pay off. The great thing is, as you practice and as you continue, you will get better and better. Your audience will get bigger and bigger, and you will do the same things, but you'll get significantly different results. Because what you need to do to get 10 people listening to your video over time, as you practice and maintain consistency in the delivery of your messages, over time, you'll be doing the same thing, but you'll have 100, 1,000, or 2,000 or 100,000 people watching when you do it. And the results then, of course, start to be very different indeed. So what I want to do now is look at some examples that I've come across recently that I think are really good in teaching us some critical things about what we've talked about. So I'm going to do a new share. So I'm going to mute myself for a second because I've got a crying child that's creeping into the background. I'm going to just ask, if I just, I'm going to click down here. Can I just ask for a quick question? Can I have some thumbs up, please, if you can see Facebook on your screen? Are you seeing Facebook on your screen? You are. Do you see Ken Clark there? You do. I'm getting the thumbs up. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you very much. Cool. So, okay, so this is what I want to share with you first of all. I'm going to start off with Lauren Clark here. She gave a fantastic example. This is a 52-second clip. I want you to watch this, and as I share this with you, I want you to ask yourself, is this good or is it not good? And I'll give you my answer in just a second.
Hey, Lauren here. I'd like to talk about a great weekend product, which is 10-4. If you're into energy drinks, these are so much better, so much healthier for you. They have matcha tea and kiwi fruit. Very healthy for you, very organic. If you're a coffee drinker, this is so much better than coffee. I know that when I'm really needing an energy pickup, I go with one of the 10-4s. And they look like this, come in a small packet. What I like to do is just open it up and put it under my tongue. Right.
Okay, so here's my question. And I want to say thank you to Lauren for giving me permission to share that video with you. So here's my question, ladies and gentlemen. Was that good or was it not? My answer is, I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I'll share with you why. I think it's a big thumbs up. And I'm seeing the responses here coming through. And Lauren, I know you're going to be watching here. Lots of thumbs up, lots of people saying yes, lots of people saying I love it, that was awesome, made them laugh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, it was great. That is a great example of authenticity. Was she planning on that? Absolutely not. But it made it fun to watch. And if you look at the responses there, I'll just pull it up again. If you look at the responses here, she got great interaction. Of course, you've got,
hey,
I'm going to pause that. you got thumbs up, of course, people laughing, big love hearts there, lots of love hearts, and wonderful notes coming from people. So funny, loved it, Clark humor galore. Those that know Lauren, of course, know that she has a fantastic sense of humor. Good to see you. I have to go wash my face now, of course. Me and my daughter watch this over and over, and every time we're rolling on the floor laughing, I love you. Aren't these great messages? What this does is it helps people connect with who we are, what we're doing. And I love that. The great thing is as well, she also acknowledged, okay, I wasn't planning that. I need to do something different. But look at this now. That was her first one here where you got my little finger pointing. But look what happened afterwards. More videos coming through. She didn't give up. She keeps on doing it. She's practicing, and keeping at it. And I think that's really important that we do that. I want to share another example of being authentic, which I think is a really good one. I love this. Linda Morse is saying to everyone, let's do one, everyone. Fun to watch and share. Yes. Let's do that. Now, I must say, I think I shared with you last week, I did a live video and my little 5-year-old was behind me, of course, having a blast, pulling faces at the camera. You know what? I think that just makes live video what it's designed to be, real. We want to do that. So let's have some fun and do this. This is something that I want to share with you that I think is really good. This is a testimonial from Julie Matt here. And I want to share with you what she has done because I think this is a great testimonial. And Julie, I hope you don't mind me sharing your comment with everyone, but it's just great. This is another example of what is my brand? What am I about? Because sometimes as we think about this, it might not necessarily be one of the Niken-esque types of stories. It might be something quite dramatically different. Listen to what Julie has to say. She said, I wanted to let you know that I posted that live 1-minute video with my horses this morning in a draft horses group, and it has already received 1,600 views. She shared a brief live video with her and her horses. She loves horses. And if you go to her Facebook page, you'll see there's lots of pictures there and videos of her and her horses. She shared it with the group, a 1-minute video, 1,600 views. Just interacting with the people commenting has earned me many new friends and warm market to my personal page. Sharing what you love and how you live your life really is the easiest way to attract people. Isn't that wonderful? I love that example. Sharing what you love is a great way to attract people. Here you go. Tina Davis is saying she's now up to over 2,700 views on that video. That is awesome. So really great example. When we share what we love, when we get out there and do that, we find other people that love the same thing and love what we love or love us for what we love. And I think that just really is key. I want to share another example here. This is from Angela from Colombia, a wonderful lady in my team in Latin America. She had a very unique experience that was just really exciting. I want to share this with you. And I shared this one for a different reason. I used the example before that we should show versus tell. Okay, now sometimes we can show versus tell in the example of we're going to be showing ourselves, we're going to be showing a story or what have you, but look at what Angela did here. She did a show in the context of, I'm going to pause it just a second. She did a show in the context of a product demonstration. You can see here by looking at this that it's a water demonstration. It's just under 3 minutes. I'm not going to show you the whole video now, but of course you can link to it if you're interested in checking it out. But this is what I want to point out. She showed a product demonstration, did a great job in it, less than 3 minutes, which is really, really important. She linked as well her contact information so that people could connect with her and reach out in order to learn more. But look at this. She had almost 4,000 shares, 216 comments, and look at this. The number of views that she got was 263,030 views. And all she did was did a very traditional product presentation where she was able to show the product. Look at that.
Porque seguramente te ha preguntado qué tan importante es la dieta alcalina, cuáles son los términos. Hoy en día es.
So she shares her product message And what an incredible experience she got. Now, what I want to do is say, okay, well, what was the result of this? Let me share with you. I've got, with her permission, again, the chance to kind of share what she experienced as a result of this. She said, thanks to that video now, I even have, in fact, let me scroll up here. I asked her, okay, how did you do this? How did you get so many views? Did you boost it in any way? And she said, I really don't know how I got so many views. Isn't that interesting? When your message is right, sometimes it just resonates. My video is simple, no editing, and I'm so blessed that it happened to me. I don't know a lot of fan pages or YouTube channels, but when a friend of mine saw all the online movement on my page, he suggested that I boost it. And so I did that. So she said she paid $5 to boost it. Isn't that crazy? And she said, thanks to that video, I now even have doctors working in my Nikken business. More than 150 people contacted her. So apologies for that last minute mess up there, but I was really just coming to the conclusion anyway. And the critical point that I wanted to share was whether we are brand new, whether we've been doing this for a long time, we want to make sure that we can consistently just practice getting out there, sharing our story. We want to make sure that we're authentic. We want to be real. We want to learn to tell our story, understand what our story is, learn to tell it. Practice makes perfect. And let's all just have a go this week of doing something that allows us to share our story, get the message out, and build and connect with our audience. Again, I loved the example of Lauren Clark. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I've watched that video at least 15 times. It's just fun to watch. And I love all of these other examples where people have said, I love horses, and I'm going to talk about horses. And in the process of doing that, they've built new contacts, which offline, they then start to be able to build and connect with and develop relationships. Not everything we do online has to stay online. That's the great thing. I mentioned this last week. Online and offline integrate together. And that's important to remember too. We can do this to build our audience, find people that are like us, and then, of course, in doing so, we can have offline conversations with them where we can help build the rapport even more and bring them into the business as a product or a business partner. I want to say thank you again for joining us on this call. Another wonderful turnout. This video is being recorded, so we can share this. I may need to do a bit of editing to link the two elements of it together. I apologize for the internet connection that cut it off towards the end. I hope you found this helpful and useful. And I hope, critically, more importantly, that we're willing to get out there, get outside of our comfort zone, have a practice, give it a go. Because you know what? We've got so much to share. Let's make our brand the brand that people want to connect with. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll speak soon. Bye-bye.